Okay, I finally completed this duty. Not Venat, I wish I did, but this giant robot duty for the weapons storyline. Jesus Christ, that took forever. It's 3:29 in the morning. The target has been silenced. Well, understood. Now that all the immediate threat has been dealt with, we should gather what information we can in Turncliffe. Turncliffe. Okay. I must admit, I envy your talents. Would I possessed even a fraction of your skill, that I would better serve Gaius. I cannot help feeling there was a simpler way to defeat the weapon. Perhaps shooting it in the head with a large cannon would have sufficed. I've been separated from my family ever since I was forced into the army, but I was able to sneak away in the confusion. I got you and your friends to thank for that. My main concern is that Legatus Valens won't take this lying down. That man is like a dog with a bone. Once he sinks his teeth in, he never lets go. He'll be back, I'm sure of it. Get to playing tag. What do you want with me, lass? Who are you? Me? Not much to tell, and even less worth knowing these days. I go about my daily business trying not to bother anyone. Just another sad old man all alone and dying off. Well, I doubt you'd care even if I told you. Used to call myself a doctor, not that I was much good at it. When the epidemic came 10 years ago, I was powerless to stop it, despite all my years of experience in fancy medicines. For everyone I saved, I lost a dozen more. Worse than that, I let those Garlean bastards push me around, tell me who to treat and who to leave through their fate. As a result, I only saw the Imperials with my kith and kin died in agony. Being far from the south of Welt, perched on top of the cliffs, there was never much reason for anyone to travel here. Being by the sea is all well and good, but we're simply too high above the water to benefit much from it. The goals and terms don't seem to mind, though. Most of the townsfolk are either Hyren natives or Aurora who found their way here over the years. They all lived side by side peacefully, though, before the Guardians came and ruined everything. There wasn't much we could do to stop them. Those who fought back were soon put to the sword. Once the invasion was complete, the Imperials started digging down into the rock and built a supply depot for their blasted airships. But the experiment a more recent development. Of course, none of us civilians were privy to what it was they were working on. I expect it'll that'll all come to light now that the bastards have all turned and fled with their tails between their legs. We've got you and yours to thank for that, even if it's only a temporary respite. Those Guardian bastards are finally gone. It's all thanks to you. My husband died defending our town when they first invaded, and for all the years since, it felt like he died for nothing. Now a soul might at last find peace. Most of the 7th Legion troops stationed here withdrew before you arrived. I expect they're regrouping somewhere and getting ready to retake the town. I even heard one of the members of the weapon project is still holding someone in town. A lot of us local conscripts have deserted the 7th Legion, but the rest of Turncliffe isn't going to forget that we served the Empire. At least not anytime soon. That's why he's hiding. Okay, that looks like the town. You did well to pilot the G-Warrior so adeptly in so short a time, and with the weapon largely intact, Sid and his researchers should be able to gather a wealth of valuable information before it is dismantled. Perhaps we should take one last look upon our fallen foe. We should have known Father and his friends would track us down sooner or later. Now they're at our doorsteps, and the Sapphire weapon still isn't ready. Even so, it should still be able to fend them off, or at least buy us some time. Not quite how I imagined it, but this seems as good a way to die as any. Rex, Recon, why are you still here? You're supposed to be moving the other weapon to a safe location. You can take care of that while I pilot the Sapphire weapon. What are you talking about? I'm the pilot, not you. There's no need to put your life on the line. Besides, it's still incomplete. It can barely perform basic maneuvers, so it'll be practically useless in a real fight. We have a solution. Oversoul. You want to end up like Melisenda? No, of course not. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But she didn't give her life in vain. The ruby weapon left behind data that's been used to improve the system, to prevent any further malfunctions. What difference does that make? Once Oversoul is activated and the pilot fuses with the core, there's no way back. That's why I should be the one to pilot the Sapphire weapon, not you, Rex. Alphonse needs you. You and I both know I'm the least qualified pilot we have. There's less to lose if I don't make it back. No, I won't let you. Please, Rex, hear me out. Ever since we were children, I was the smallest, the weakest too, afraid to stand up for myself. But I had the best brothers and sisters a boy could wish for. You were always there for me, protected me. Now it's my turn to protect you. Take the other weapon and get out of here. See this through to the end. Do it for me, for Melisandre. I'm counting on you, Rex. You always did have a stubborn streak. Alright, Recon, I won't let you down. Just promise you'll wait for me. On the other side, we'll meet again, brother. You all made me happier than I had any right to be. And now, I've finally found my purpose. I have no regrets. Come on, Sapphire. We may be far from perfect, but we have a job to do. Let's give Father something to remember us by. The Echo, I presume. What did it reveal to you? Recon, my poor boy, you were braver than most could ever hope to be. It's as we feared. I'm sorry, guys. For Melisandre and now Recon, we must find the remaining weapons and end this madness. Tell me, what do you make of Gaius Belsar? I understand the two of you have been acquainted since his days as the Black Wolf. He claims to have shed his pelt when he took up the hunt for the Ascians, but he's still the same man deep down. He certainly kept quiet about having a flock of foster children back in the Empire, though it seems he would rather bare his teeth to his former masters than allow harm to come to them. Yet, try as I might, I cannot make sense of it. Does he truly fight for the good of mankind, as he would have us believe? Or is he merely biding his time before he reveals his true colors? Whatever the answer may be, in the end, he will always be a Garlean. And though there may be honorable men and women among them, I have suffered much more as a result of their conquests, barbaric campaigns in which Gaius Balsar played no small part. My first encounter with the Garleans was 20 years ago, shortly after the fall of Valamigo. They continued their march into the lands that had long been home to we Dusk Whites. We sought to repel the invaders, but we were woefully unprepared. Our bows and arrows were no match for their magics, tech, and even our most powerful magics did little to slow their advance. We fell on the front line, but was knocked unconscious in the opening exchange. When I came to, I was alone, the rest of my unit slaughtered. I hurried back to my village to look for my wife and daughter, only to find the place deserted. Excuse me. Oh. Take a drink of water. My search lasted for days, then weeks, then months, and it seemed they had disappeared without a trace. I finally learned from the two Imperials held at Bittermill that the villagers had been captured and used as test subjects for the poison gas that would later be known as Black Rose. They were never seen again. For 20 long years, I roamed aimlessly with nothing but hatred to keep me alive. I eventually found myself at the Order of the Twin Adder, who offered me a place amongst their ranks. The desire for revenge was the only thing I had left, so without a moment's hesitation I accepted. Were it not for the war with Garlemald, I would have been loath to work alongside the city-dwelling Gridanians, who for so long had treated my kind as outcasts. But none of that mattered anymore. It all culminated with the Operation Archon. As you led the charge into the Praetorium, we were right behind you. And when the place came crumbling down, most of us were caught in the rubble. I escaped with my life, though many others were less fortunate. Having dragged myself free from the rubble, I sought a way out. It was then that I encountered none other than Gaius Balsar, on the verge of death. The gods had delivered to me the man whose conquest had robbed me of everything. I was poised, ready to exact my revenge, and then he spoke. I will not beg for mercy, only that you stay your hand a while longer. I cannot die until I rid the world of the Ascian menace. For millennia, mankind has danced to their tune, but no more. Then, once we are finally free, my life is yours for the taking. I would have struck him down there and then had I not sensed truth in his words. So I decided to grant him a stay of execution and join him on his hunt. All this time I've kept a close eye on Gaius, though he is ever on the watch for pursuers. He has granted me ample opportunity to slay him if I so choose, and I still might, if he shows even the slightest sign of betraying our agreement. But for now, the Ascians are my chosen quarry. If they are indeed the ones pulling the Empire's strings, then it shall not end until they have been eradicated. Every last one. Though I could not save my kin, there are those who may yet be spared from the horrors of war. Unfortunately, dealing with the Ascians will have to wait until we have brought an end to Garlemald's weapon project. Though we may have vanquished two of the new weapons, we must make every effort to prepare for whatever the Garleans throw at us. Perhaps Severa can tell us whether the Ironworks engineers have uncovered any information of note. Looks like the town changed since I've been here. Has it? Nope. Still the same town. I'd rather you didn't share that what we've discussed with my traveling companions. It would only complicate matters. The Ironworks engineers are still at work dismantling the Sapphire weapon and investigating the Terran Cliff Magitech facility. Though they have yet to make their report, they may have some news to share at this juncture. Please wait here a moment. We've yet to finish our investigation, but I can give you a preliminary report. Were you able to recover anything of note? Before abandoning the facility, they attempted to destroy anything they couldn't take with them, including many of their research materials. Luckily, some information relating to the Sapphire weapons combat data was intact. Judging by what we saw during the battle, it was extracted from Regula Van Hydrus, correct? It also appears that the Sapphire weapon was actually in an incomplete state, and therefore unable to perform at full capacity. Even so, it was immensely powerful. Had they been given the chance to finish it before we arrived, who knows how it would have ended. Indeed, we may not be so fortunate next time, so we must prepare for the worst. The Ironworks will continue to investigate the Sapphire weapon and look into possible countermeasures. The Echo afforded you a glimpse into the conversation between Recon and Rex prior to the weapon's deployment. Do you remember any other details? Improvements were made to the synthetic Orosite system to prevent malfunctions. Then it was never their intent to create a manifestation of Nail Van Darnus. But there's one thing that was intended. Oversoul. Its activation results in the pilot being absorbed by the core, killing them in the process. Rex and Recon were fully aware of this, were they not? Then the death of the pilot was by design all along. Alphonse, how could you? Sacrificing your own sibling to fuel these accursed war machines. Surely there is no cause worth paying such a price. Aye, nothing is more precious than family. This nightmare is far from over. It appears that Rex has fled with the remaining weapons, and we can assume that Alphonse has every intention of sending them into battle. We must find a way to disable them before Oversoul can be activated. I have seen enough death. I do not wish to see any more. Then there is no time to waste. Let us be about it, Gaius. Severa, you're in charge here. Keep Sid and his team safe while they carry out the investigation. Understood. Please see that no harm comes to Gaius. While we're gone, gone, I need you to relay everything to the Resistance troops. Your first-hand account should prove useful. If there are any developments, we'll be sure to contact you. Alphonse, I will find you, wherever you are. If the other weapons have been moved elsewhere, the locals must have seen the direction in which they headed. At this stage, any information at all would be better than what we have now, which is next to nothing. And judging by the fact that you made it here in one piece, I trust everything went according to plan. What an astonishing account. I wouldn't mind putting that G-Warrior through its paces myself. Certainly a lot more stimulating than supervising this rabble, I imagine. Anyways, as before, I'll compile the information into a report and leave it over there for your perusal, should you feel so inclined. If we hear anything from headquarters, we'll be sure to pass it on. Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's world headquarters, I have come to deliver my report, Lord Valens. So you have returned, young Alfred. Or was it Alric? Not that it really matters, of course. I hear that you and your darling brothers and sisters have allowed the sapphire weapon to fall into the hands of the enemy. Do tell me that isn't so. I'm afraid that is the case, Lord Valens. Oh, come now. No need to be so sullen. As they say, to err is human, to forgive is divine, and you know how forgiving I can be when it suits me. Just drinking milk, he's evil. So tell me, whatever your name is, who was able to best the sapphire weapon? Sources state that the one known as the Warrior of Light was assisted by Cid Garlund and Gaius von Balsar, my lord. Gaius. Yes, it seems he's been quite the troublemaker of late. Deflecting from Garlemald, assassinating the Emperor, whatever's next. Oh well, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Speaking of which, I've become quite the connoisseur since arriving in Welt. This particular variety comes from a rare breed of cow, you know. Only 100 of them exist and are pampered every day of their lives. Yes, they are quite valuable until the milk dries up, that is. When it does, they are sent to the slaughterhouse like all the rest, for that is their lot in life. To be discarded once they have served their purpose. Did I create the ruby and sapphire weapons so you could deliver them gift wrap to the enemy? I can see it now, Sid Van Garland rubbing his hands with glee at all the technological marvels we've bestowed upon him. And you let Gaius Van Valsar of all people get the better of you. How do you think this reflects of me? The goddess of the Seventh Legion, humiliated by that traitor. Humiliated, I say. There's only one way to deal with worthless provincial filth like you. Wait for me in the correction chamber. You need to be taught a lesson in obedience. Yes, my lord. Forgive my intrusion, Lord Valance, but it's time for your meeting with the head of Magitech Development. Oh, how time flies when you're wiping useless soldiers into shape. Yes, yes, I'll be along once I've made myself presentable. Can't have people thinking I've let my standards slip now, can I? What are you doing here? You wish to see me, Lord Valance. Did I now? Ah, yes, that's right. So you're Ali, yes? And you joined the military of your own free will along with your fellow orphans? Such devotion, what inspiration you are. You see, it is my firm belief that love grants us the power to move mountains, to overcome any obstacle. Together we shall discover the strength that lies within you. Take my hand, child, I will show you the way. Okay. I'll be right back.
Through the door.
Okay, I'm back. Ah, it's good to see you, Yo. I'm pleased to report that Master Garland and the others uncovered a fair bit of useful information at the Imperial facility in Thancliffe. In fact, he'd like you to rendezvous with the Gaius in Town Square, where he'll reveal what they found. Once you're ready to depart, your escort will lead the way. I wouldn't mind going to you with Thancliffe, but I've got to stay here and keep an eye on this horrible lot. All set for a good journey ahead? It seems that Sid is not in the habit of saying the same thing twice. which must be why he was waiting for you to arrive before revealing the results of his investigation. Though the Imperials may be gone, the scars they have left on this once peaceful town will doubtless take many years to heal. You're still here. Okay, same dialogue. Now that you are here, perhaps Sid will finally deign to dispense his findings. Severa, inform him of Yo's arrival. Thank you for coming. So, what have you discovered? To tell you the truth, we were lucky to obtain any information at all, considering the lengths to which the Imperials went to covering their tracks. You see, the hangar below was not just used to store the weapons, but played a critical role in their creation. We now know the code names given to the three weapons: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Obviously, we are familiar with the first two, but the third is something of an unknown quantity. At the very least, this confirms the existence of another one of those abominations. At the very least. The problem lies in ascertaining its whereabouts. None of the locals have seen anything resembling a weapon being transported either by land or air, which of course leaves only one option: the sea. According to what fragmented data we were able to recover, the Emerald weapon is equipped with aquatic capabilities, much like the Sapphire, meaning that its escape from Tencliff would have gone undetected and could potentially be anywhere by now. But if Alphonse plans to have it absorb more primals, the logical choice would be Eorzea. And traveling by sea would allow him to circumvent the line at Grimald entirely. The Alliance must be alerted at once. Hold your chocobo, Severa. It seems that the Emerald weapon was still incomplete when the 7th Legion withdrew from Tencliff. It's far more likely that it was transported to another facility in order to add it the finishing touches. If your suspicion is correct, that would narrow our search to but two possible locations: Castrum Miriam in the Retano Sea and Castrum Oceans in eastern Nosca, both of which are known to harbor remnants of the 14th Legion, your former subordinates, Gaius. Be that as it may, our objective is unchanged. Battle and you and Severa will make your way to the Castrum Obsidians, while Yo and I head for Castrum Marium. Should we locate the Emerald weapon, we will give the signal to dispatch the G-Warrior and eliminate it before it can be activated. Sorry to disappoint you, but we're still repairing the damage it sustained during the encounter with the Sapphire weapon. While Allagan machinery has its uses, it's a bugger to find replacement parts in a pinch. We've actually been working to expand its already impressive arsenal, but the G-Warrior itself is in no fit state for combat. While I'm aware that this is a far from adequate replacement, I can provide an Ironworks submersible to help Yo and Gaius reach Castrum Marium. I'll have one sent ahead to Vesper Bay. A submarine bull, eh? I don't like much the sound of that. Perhaps Severa and I should count ourselves fortunate that our designation can be approached by land. I pray you have a safe journey. Watch yourself out there, Yo. It is time we departed. Let us make our way to Vesper Bay. In the event that my attempt to bypass the Creststrom's security fails, this submersible of Sid's had best be able to withstand Imperial weaponry long enough for us to escape. As per Master Garland's instructions, the submersible is ready whenever you are. Before you depart, I've received some scraps of intelligence regarding your opponent from colleagues in Turncliffe. Apparently, it uses some sort of levitating handle-like appendages, 6 of them in fact. Though we're not quite sure what purpose they serve, it sounds like having eyes in the back of your head might come in handy. But that's all we know, I'm afraid. You have our thanks. After all, forewarned is forearmed. If the emerald weapon has indeed been transported into the castrum, it would need to enter via the dry dock. We shall do likewise. As one might expect, there are measures in place to keep out intruders, but the security systems can be tricked into recognizing us as Imperial vessels. That said, infiltrating the facility is merely the first step. Should the emerald weapon be activated, it is only a matter of time before the pilot uses Oversoul. We must silence the war machina before this happens, and failing that, grant the poor soul at its helm the mercy of a swift death. Had these wounds healed more quickly, I could have gone with you, but I fear I would only slow you down. As such, I shall provide what support I can from afar. Whatever happens, the emerald weapon must be defeated at all costs. Though I would prefer that we avoid engaging my former ward in combat, we cannot allow my sentiments to prevent us from doing what must be done. I'm sorry we weren't able to provide any further details on the target. We can only guess what other tricks it might have in store for you. Be careful out there. How many people are... 6. Okay. I very much doubt I'm gonna get this trial. What time is it? Ah, it's almost been an hour. I'm gonna call the stream here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. I hope you like this stream and the last stream. They're just finishing off the side content from, Shadowbringers. Or I should say the raid and trial content. The endgame content, whatever you want to call it. The hard stuff. Anyway, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.